Hey guys, it's Andy with Album Hunters. It's not even halfway through January, and already we have two great Doom records to check out. I hope you guys enjoy. But first, this video is part of a series called CD Hunts of the Month. This is how it works. Each week, I will be talking about two albums that I really enjoyed from the previous week's releases. At the end of each month, I'll be going over all of those picks and choosing my favorite album, which I will buy their CD from and promote that same album to you guys so you can purchase it too. Also, I'm going to be consolidating the two YouTube channels that I have. One's called Album Hunters, and one's called Album Hunters Official. Unsubscribe from Album Hunters and subscribe to Album Hunters Official. At the end of the month, I'm going to be deleting that other channel, and so the only one I'll be posting to from then on will be the official. Thank you for bearing with me, and enjoy. In second place, we have Ahab's The Coral Tombs. It is a very atmospheric, cinematic album. It's based on 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea. When you start out, it reminds me a lot of the death doom band Mariana's Rest and their most recent album. It just has the blackened, screaming, very tormented vocals along with the blast beats. It almost seems like a black metal song to start. But then about 1 minute in, you have this just mellow, descending melody that leads into the real song. It has this calming, airy, wide vocal tone. It's very operatic. It is beautiful, and that is consistent throughout the album. I would even call it a power doom metal album, and I really enjoyed it. It's something that I can put onto the background and study to, and it's not overwhelming or blistering. It's great. If you're not into that slower sort of music generally, then it's not the album for you. It's also not the album for you if you're not a big fan of that melodramatic vocal style, though I think it's used to great effect here. I would give Ahab a 3.5 arrowheads out of 5 for its incredible vocal performance, a very beautiful, cinematic, soundtrack-esque backdrop to a study session. Far and away, my favorite album from this week is Lord of the Void's Consuming the Trails of Light. I'll admit I cheated a little bit on this album, mainly because I didn't know about it until after the week's period was over. I checked out a couple different death metal albums. I felt like that those albums were a little bit too similar to each other and also just weren't up to par in my opinion. But when I listened to this album, these guys far and away exceeded my expectations, and here's why. The number of high moments on the album. The variation is incredible. Now, I say variation a lot, but what do I mean by that? You can have similar kinds of riffs, you can have similar tones across the album. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to have enough variation in song structure. You have to have some creativity, perhaps within the same scale, perhaps within different scales, to make the music engaging to the listener. That not only is it something that drones on and you can leave in the background, kind of like choral tunes, but you can actually be attentive and continually be engaged and excited by the music. This is what Lord of the Void provides. Starting off with Earth's Domain.
Inside, we can solve the pain. Behind, our thoughts remain. As space, rebel its immensity. We fly, only with our hope. Outside, on now then just lie. Endless darkness, Human progress fails suddenly, 'cause we were the ancient heirs of Maine.
Now, this is the first track where they introduced clean vocals, and I wish they actually used more of that in the album. Now, that's one of my only flaws that I can point out, because even though it's pretty monotone, maybe just like a lower tenor, so to speak, halfway between slam poetry and actual singing, I like this style. It allows the listener to almost feel like they're being told a story versus being just shouted at or screamed at. Another general note I want to make, even though most of the songs are around 7 minutes in length, they don't feel drawn out or bloated in any way. Everything seems to work, and the digestion of the riffs, where they just are hitting the same drum patterns, doing the same riffs, maybe a minute or two with very little variations, that works well. That feels legitimate and it doesn't feel forced. And so that's something I appreciate too. Let's talk about that riff. The Last Lie, in my opinion, has one of the best opening riffs in doom metal, from what I have heard anyway, and generally across metal the past year and a half or so. It's slightly offbeat intentionally. It has that dissonance, that just disgusting something is lumbering toward you. What it reminds me of most is Temple of Void's last album. That is exactly what I love. Gayin, Regis, Asentia. It has this pirate sounding guitar riff that's done in diatonic thirds, which is one of my favorite things that metal artists do. And then you have the vocals over top of that combined with the riffs. This song slaps. The entire thing just is a great ender to the album. It kept me on my toes. It surprised me how well the musicianship was, the vocals were. It's rock solid, and so few people know about this. That's why we're here, though. Explore these new artists and to give them a spotlight they may not otherwise get. This is an album I'm glad I waited for. It's enjoyable, it is surprising and beautiful from cover to cover. Overall, I'm giving it a 4 stars out of 5 for excellent variation, a perfect 39-minute runtime, and no slowing down, even in the midst of doom. Thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on the notification bell, and most importantly, support the artists that you enjoy. And with that, peace out, guys.